Chapter 3, The First Wound. Before you knew what love was, your body did. And whatever it felt first, ache, silence, shame, chaos, that's what it learned to call home. This is the truth most people never name. Your definition of love was shaped before you ever had words, before you formed beliefs, before you understood choice. Your nervous system was already learning how to survive the emotional landscape around you. And it did what all nervous systems do: it adapted. That adaptation, what some call temperament or instinct or personality, is often just a survival strategy with polish. If the love you knew as a child was inconsistent, your body learned that love meant waiting. If the love you knew was critical or conditional, it learned that love meant earning. If the love you knew disappeared when you needed comfort, it learned that love meant being quiet. And if love came with rage, guilt, or shame, your system learned to brace for impact even while reaching. You didn't choose that. You learned it, and then you carried it into every connection that followed. Here's what most people don't understand. Attachment isn't a style. It's a reflex, a set of unconscious rules your body uses to decide how close is safe, how much is too much, and when love becomes dangerous. You were trained in those rules by how your caregivers responded to you. Were they emotionally present or distracted? Did they move toward you when you cried or leave you alone to calm yourself? Did they celebrate your voice or require you to shrink to stay connected? Whatever the answer was, your body took notes. And this is the wound most people carry without realizing it. They're not choosing partners based on who's available or compatible. They're choosing based on what feels like love to their unhealed nervous system. So when someone comes along who's steady, emotionally available, and attuned, it often doesn't register as attraction. It feels confusing, foreign, or even uncomfortable because their body has learned that love doesn't look like that. Love is supposed to be a chase, or a storm, or a puzzle. Love is supposed to make your heart race, not settle. It's supposed to feel like hunger, not nourishment. It's supposed to be earned, not received. So when love comes without pressure, without conditions, without chaos, it feels empty. Not because it is, but because the nervous system doesn't know how to receive what it never learned to expect. This is why people sabotage good love. Not because they don't want it, but because it doesn't feel like home. And until you name the first wound, you will keep creating conditions that match it. Over and over. You will unconsciously seek out people who mirror that earliest emotional rhythm, and when you find them, you'll call it fate. But it's not fate, it's familiarity masquerading as desire. You can't rewire what you haven't named. You can't choose peace until you admit that peace once felt dangerous. You can't walk into real love until you grieve what you never got to receive. And that grief is brutal, because it's layered. You don't just grieve the absence of nurture. You grieve the years you spent performing to earn what should have been freely given. You grieve the way you abandoned yourself just to keep someone else close. You grieve the confusion of thinking that was love and the shame of realizing it never was. But if you don't feel that grief, you'll stay loyal to the first wound. You'll keep bending around people who require you to prove you're worth loving. You'll keep shrinking in the presence of people who never learned how to stay. You'll call distance, independence, and chaos passion, and you'll wonder why everything real slips through your fingers. Naming the first wound doesn't erase it, but it does expose its logic. And once exposed, you can start choosing differently. Not overnight, not perfectly, but steadily. You can learn to pause when the familiar ache lights up. You can learn to wait for the part of you that used to sprint toward fire. You can ask yourself, does this feel like love because it's safe or because it's familiar? That question alone can save years. But the first step is being honest about what love felt like the first time you reached for it. Not what you wish it had been. Not what they said it was, but what it actually felt like in your body. Did you feel held or measured? Did you feel welcome or tolerated? Did you feel safe or scanned for mistakes? That moment holds the blueprint. Until it's named, it repeats.